we're just grappling with the death and tragedy of two of our beloved community members, Uncle Ben, Uncle Trang, who were taken away from us and our community recently. I think it's definitely a result of a lack of safety and security in Chinatown. I am the chair of the Chinatown Transformation Collective Society, and at the CTC we focus on 5 main pillars that would transform Chinatown. The first one would be safety and security. So when we think safety and security is how do we keep our business owners safe, how do we keep their customers safe, but also in Chinatown we deal with a little bit more of a nuanced problem, which is how do we also keep our vulnerable safe and how do we coexist together. So some of that deals with cleanliness, like when we have social agencies, how do we ensure that the streets are still clean and they're still able to provide a service to their vulnerable population. When we talk about safety and security, we talk about response rates with police and what is that expectation of that service level when we do have a problem, how quickly can they come and deal with it. In the past, we've had to hire our own security as a response to that lack of commitment. And it's encouraging now that we're seeing this commitment. We are seeing a lot of Edmonton police in the area, and the streets are cleaner and they're safer, and that's good for everyone. Another one of our pillars is economic recovery. What does that look like? I mean, right now we have police that are in the area and they're cleaning up the streets, but are we encouraging our customers to come back? Do they feel like it's a safe place to come back? So part of economic recovery talks about that. How do we market it? Another thing with economic recovery is how do we provide countermeasures to some of these businesses that are dealing with social disorder? Are shutters required? Maybe that's part of the solution. Cameras, that could be part of the solution. All of these are solutions, and not one of them is the right one. It needs to be a group of strategies, which leads me into the third pillar, which is that we also want to celebrate Chinatown as a destination. We need to realize as a community and as a city that Chinatown is not just Chinatown. It is a cultural center. And if we are Canadian, we believe in multiculturalism. This is something that we should all know that enriches our community and our lives. Chinatown being so close to downtown is a perfect logical place for people to enjoy and entertain and get immersed with not just Chinese people, but Korean people and Black people and Indigenous people and all the different types of cultures that we now see in Chinatown. I always say, regardless of funding, if funding went up for police or if funding went down for police, we would still expect a high level and a high commitment to safety and security in Chinatown. Okay? The fact that funding has been politicized is difficult as a community to be involved in. These discussions about money and return and taxes are difficult and complicated discussions. At the end of the day, the businesses want to be safe. They want their customers to be safe, and that has to drive this discussion. But that is not what's being discussed right now. And I think we need to think about that for a little bit.
Well, we see a lot of homeless people on the streets, a lot of people doing drugs and out in plain sight, a lot of people sleeping on the grounds all over the area. I don't think there's been any kind of control or management of where people are putting people in homes. All the shelters are in this area, all the safe consumption sites are or injection sites are in the area, so this is where they all come to kind of get the services or supports that they need, because this is where everything is. People don't want to come down here, people don't want to come because they don't feel safe. So a lot of our business we've lost, and we've had to change hours because especially during the day, people are scared to come down to this area. We've had people come into our restaurant, they've taken stuff out of our drink coolers, they've kind of thrown things around. So it's been kind of scary. It was pretty scary with people coming in. We've had to call the police, but they say, you need to call your security. This is not something of importance for them, I guess. I'm hoping that the city and the province are able to work together, because we've had meetings with them, and they see what the issue is and be able to work with different shelters and come up with a plan so that they keep Chinatown and Edmonton safe, really.
Yeah, it's really hard to say when it's. I think it's just a gradual increase. We see it more and more now, where it's affecting the safety of our patrons and our staff. The homelessness, basically. right? So they come in, they serve our customers, and and it's getting so tough to kind of ask them to leave, even though we do it politely, and we're just afraid, one day something will happen, like what happened recently in Chinatown here. So, because we're always here, and this business is family owned and run. So yeah, every night, especially at night, every day, you hopefully you wake up and you don't get that phone call and saying, oh, something happened overnight, etc. That's what we're all worrying about right now.
Definitely, there's a strong contingent of people that just want to up and leave, and that's unfair. That's displacement. That'd be the third time Chinatown would have to move for a reason. Okay, you talk to some other business owners, and they're resilient, and they want to talk about installing shutters and countermeasures that will help them continue their business. This is their nest egg. This is what they've committed years upon building, and to ask them to leave, for some people they just can't do it. There's just too much blood and sweat in it.